Hello and welcome to another episode of Over the Counter OTC. Normally, when we think of scientists, we envisage scientific researchers as shy, studious, nerdy characters. But risky science? That phrase brings up images of a disheveled, mad scientist blowing up their lab from experiments or creating monsters like Dr. Frankenstein. But that's not what we're talking about today. What exactly is risky science? We're talking about things like Dr. Oppenheimer and research on splitting the atom to make the atom bomb, science that has great potential for good and harm. Two criteria define risky science. The research involves areas that have great importance for humans and society. Examples include health-related research in areas like cancer, dementia, infections, antibiotic resistance, and so on, and research on the great problem posing threats to humanity's continued existence on this planet, climate change, that includes technologies like carbon capture. The list is long and wide in scope, and I'm sure you get the drift. The other key aspect is one of likely impact on populations from the outcomes of this research, including the potential for unintended consequences. Primum non nocere, first do no harm, is the beginning sentence in the Hippocratic Oath that all doctors swear to. However good the intentions, harm can and will arise from scientific research. So it's imperative that all ongoing studies be closely supervised and kept in check. The present situation, however, is far from satisfactory. Let's see why. Regulatory bodies like institutional review boards, ethics committees, and the like are entrusted with this onerous task. Technical experts dominate these bodies. The goings-on of these committees are held behind closed doors, a black box, and seldom made public. They function much like an old boys club. In the publish or perish culture of modern science, a lot of you scratch my back and I'll scratch your arm goes on. Despite the advances made and the impressive nature of these advances, the public feels excluded. Surveys show that public opinion of science is very negative and dropping over time. Not a good place to be in. Scientists in general decide between themselves whether a particular field of study should proceed, and that's the way things are now. But we can't democratize the whole process of making decisions on the safety of research either. There is widespread lack of understanding about the complexity of modern science, subjects like genetic engineering, sustainable technologies, carbon capture. Quite often, only a handful of experts can truly appreciate all aspects of any area of scientific research. Like the French Revolution with its liberty, equality, and fraternity, storming the Bastille will lead to certain chaos. What do we do then? We have to come forward with some sort of solution for this situation that we are in. If there is one thing that we as humans have shown time and time again, it's our ability to come up with ingenious solutions with out-of-the-box thinking. Things like science courts are one solution. Taking a cue from the legal advice of mediation, interested parties can meet across a table with a qualified mediator and come to mutually acceptable decisions about the risk. The interests of all vulnerable segments, women, children, the elderly, the disabled, the less privileged, can all be accommodated. We hardly ever think of things like insurance companies as parties in solutions to this problem. Yet, they have massive amounts of data and on risk and its outcomes that can be used for looking ahead and forecasting risks behind scientific experiments. The heart of the problem, however, lies in the fact that scientists are usually very poor communicators. I'm sure you've fallen asleep while some eminent person jabbers on in jargon that is Greek and Latin to you, clueless about what they're talking. Scientists have to step down from these ivory towers and actively learn communication skills as a responsibility. There is good evidence that clearly articulated ideas coming from respected authorities goes a long way towards halting the spread of misinformation. And so, the road ahead seems clear. All of us, researchers and recipients of the outcome of research, have to stop seeing each other as adversaries. Face-to-face interactions are the most effective devices to keep risky science in check. There is a tongue-in-cheek Chinese blessing that says, "May you live in interesting times," eras that throw up great dangers as well as great opportunities. We certainly are in interesting times. Climate change, longevity and aging populations, healthcare costs are some problems that are huge and need solutions urgently. Humankind has never been richer, yet inequality is growing. 1% or less of the global population owns the majority of the wealth of the globe. This situation needs to be corrected as part of the solution to many problems, scientific or otherwise. Technology has given us tools to dress up outright lies and falsehoods as the truth and disseminate these ideas in no time to vast segments of the population. This is being done actively, and all of us have been victim of this kind of propaganda. The need for risky science has never been greater. If you would like to go deeper into the topic, here is a podcast that you will enjoy listening to. Thank you very much for staying with me, and if you liked what you saw and heard, please share it, repost it, subscribe to my newsletter, and you can view archives and more at my website, prescription.com. There's a hyphen between the P and the R. Thank you very much.